plane heading to London with 242 passengers on board has crashed. An Air India plane carrying 242 people has crashed shortly after takeoff in Ahmedabad. There were 53 Britons on board and 169 Indian nationals on the flight, 1 Canadian national and 7 Portuguese nationals. The plane crashed into a building in Ahmedabad and videos show an explosion and black smoke rising over a residential area. The fire team has thankfully taken out the blaze. The doctors in Ahmedabad are saying they have never seen so many casualties. There are reports of chaos in local emergency wards with critical injuries everywhere and non-stop admissions. A reporter on the ground there says that there has been 6 emergency service teams working on the response, with rescuers trying to free anyone injured from the rubble. So far they've seen some people being taken to the hospital, but there is no clarity over the cause of the crash. All we know is that the Air India pilot said engine failure during a mayday call. As of 12 o'clock today, at least 30 bodies have been recovered from the site. A lot of photos have emerged online from the crash site, and here you can see the landing gear amongst the rubble. I'm Sabrina Escapes, this is the latest travel news.
We are in the airport, just boarding. Goodbye, India.
Bye, goodbye.
Thank you.
10-hour flight back to England.
What's your biggest takeaway, Jamie?
I've done this already.
On a different thing.
Oh, right. What's my biggest takeaway? I don't know.
Yeah, fascinating. Great. Thanks for your contribution. Okay. Yeah, my biggest takeaway is don't lose your patience with your partner.
Yeah. You're already starting to. You already snapped at me while we're having chai at the airport. I can see you've learnt nothing.
Going back happily calm.
Some really tragic news out of Ahmedabad today. Air India flight AI-171, which was heading to London with about 242 people on board. I see reports of 230 civilians, 12 staff members. It was down near Magani Nagar, really close to the city's airport. Some reports are saying that the plane made it up to 625 feet in altitude before then quickly plummeting to the ground. Now, there are witness accounts where they say the plane during takeoff struck a tree, clipped a tree even, but we'll continue. Witnesses said they heard a loud explosion, then saw the plane coming down fast. Right now, rescue crews and emergency services are still on the scene trying to help. It's too early to know exactly what caused the crash, but officials are starting the investigation. The government is promising quick action and support for everyone that's been affected. Our thoughts are with the families of the passengers, crew, and their families. This is still a developing story. It's very tragic to see this happen. And there has been no confirmed reports as of now of any survivors. If there's any major updates to this story, I will post them. Be sure to follow along to stay informed.
So here's what we know about the Air India AI-171 that crashed in India upon departure today. This was a Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, and according to the website Flight Radar, it reached the altitude of 625 feet before losing signal. According to authorities, there were 242 people on board. Of those 242, 10 were cabin crew, 2 of them were pilots. Now, in the last few moments, we've received confirmation by Air India that on board were 53 UK nationals, 1 Canadian, 7 Portuguese, and the rest, 169, were Indian nationals. We understand that there were about 10 or under a dozen or so children on board as well. According to Gatwick Airport, which was the final destination, it crashed just moments after takeoff, and it was due to land here in England at 6:25 local time.
I thought we were done with these plane crashes, y'all. But nope, it just happened again. Something about this crash not sitting right with me, y'all. So this Boeing 787 Dreamliner, supposed to be one of the safest in the world, just went down 2 minutes after flight, y'all, as you can see. So there wasn't no engine fire, there wasn't a bird strike. It just fell out the sky, y'all, and it hit a building, but not just any building, y'all. So this was a flight from India to London, and just a couple of minutes into the flight, the pilot yelled Mayday, and y'all know what comes with that. That means some shit was going wrong. And then as y'all seen, it went down, and there were 242 passengers on this plane, and they're all gone, y'all. Like, Boom. So here's where it get weird, y'all. Out of all places, the plane crashed into a building that was a doctor's hostel. A medical building, y'all, that was full of interns and medical researchers. And they're saying this was the first fatal crash from a Dreamliner, y'all. That's crazy. I'm gonna keep y'all updated on this situation. Cause like I said, it's either a failure, sabotage, or something deeper. And all I know is all 242 passengers on that plane is gone. Their life is over. And it's probably gonna be more people from that building that's gonna add on to that toll. So my condolences to everyone who was affected by this. This shit crazy, y'all.
What we know about this flight that crashed on its way from India to London, it was an Air India flight. It was a passenger flight. There could have been hundreds of people on board. This is what we've got from Air India at this early point. Flight AI 171 operating Ahmedabad to London Gatwick was involved in an incident today, adding that the airline's trying to get more information, they're trying to get more updates. But we are starting to see videos appear of thick black smoke. It looks really serious, and what's also worrying is it does appear to be in a residential area as well, at least a built-up area, so we're also thinking about casualties on the ground, but information very thin at the moment. Emergency services obviously rushing to the scene. Indian ministers are starting to make statements which shows how serious they think this is as well. But at an early stage, but it's looking pretty grim. Ahmedabad is a city in the western part of India, and this appears to have happened near the airport.
Very sad news, as a London-bound plane from India has crashed, causing 240 people to lose their life. This plane was meant to be coming from India to the UK, specifically from Ahmedabad to London Gatwick. This crashed as it was taking off, resulting in 169 Indian people losing their lives and 53 Britons losing their lives. Very, very sad to hear, as well as Portuguese and Canadian nationals as well to lose their lives. Horrific to hear.
Breaking news! All 242 passengers in the Indian flight have been confirmed dead. It's also come out that the plane crashed in a residential area, meaning a lot of locals would have died as well. Wallah, it's so heartbreaking. There were so many children on this flight as well, thinking they're gonna go home. Proof that when your time is written, you can't change or do anything. Condolences to the family. Share this and spread awareness.
Breaking. An Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner bound for Gatwick has crashed shortly after takeoff from Ahmedabad in India. 242 people were on board. Early reports suggest 53 of those are British. It went down in a residential area 5 minutes after departure. Emergency teams are working at the scene. You've been watching Steve Rowland News. Like and follow for more news updates.
You can see the operation right now. The heavy machinery, it is trying to pull up the scrap, the wreckage of the plane. The rescue operation right now is going on still. The authorities have brought in the heavy machineries. There are ambulances, there are rescue workers working constantly to find the survivors. What we can see over here is the wing of the crash flight. You can see the condition of this wing. The impact was so strong that people, even the nearby areas, were able to hear the sound and see the smoke that has erupted because of the crash.
Using these magazines, AC is not working at all. And as usual, your TV screens are also not working. Neither this button for calling the cabin crew. Nothing is working. Nothing. Not even the light is working. See, is this what you are providing? And as usual, that is why Air India is considered as one of the worst airlines in the world. AC is still not working, and today it is very, very, very hot in Delhi. And it's a Dreamliner 787. And as usual, the map, in-flight entertainment is not working. Leave in-flight entertainment. If I talk about this light, it is also not working. If I press this cabin crew button, it's not working either. Nothing is working. Nothing at all.
An Air India flight has crashed with 242 on board. Police have confirmed there are no survivors. 53 Brits were confirmed to be on board. The pilot issued a mayday seconds before crashing into a medical college, injuring 15 doctors. It was bound for Gatwick Airport in London. Flight Radar 24 said that the signal from the aircraft was lost less than a minute after takeoff. An eyewitness stated he saw dead bodies and debris scattered all over.
बाप ऑटो कोई है Oh God.
So we now have a video of the entire takeoff for Air India Flight 171. This is from a CCTV camera at the airport. So here it begins rotating behind this little shack. It does appear that its nose stays in the air maybe slightly longer than normal, although this is all just speculation at this point. There it is off the ground. Initially looks okay, and then by this point, you can tell that the plane is definitely not climbing as it should. And then here, it sadly begins descending. Bank slightly right, slightly left. AOA keeps increasing. And then finally, and tragically, into the ground. If you see anything in this video that I didn't mention, you noticed anything, please let us know in the comments. Again, I'll be uploading videos on this all day. Follow to stay informed.
મરી જાય નીચે આવો છો તમે મંડે જો કોકને મારવાના છે તમારે એવી રીતે પકડાઈને
शॉर्ट सर्किट हुआ नहीं सर शॉर्ट सर्किट में से सीएनजी गैस स्टार्ट बाटला पड़ा गैस लाइन भी है गैस लाइन भी नीचे शायद
अरे गवर्नमेंट